I thank the grace of Heavenly Mother, compassion of Maitreya Buddha, Qigong Buddha, virtue of Maitreya, Grand Master, and Senior Master Li and Junior Master Li, whom allow me to have the opportunity to host the session. And I welcome your attendance here. Today we are going to continue our session on the Scripture of Deliverance from Maitreya Buddha. So the first one is the southern and northern branches are connected. The second one is in the midst of disorder, the primordial decree remains in the center. Next one, Lao-Mu descends the divine key, and that is the heavenly portal. And the next one is confirm the covenant in front of the shadowless mountain. And of course, we will go into detail. And Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read the slide here? Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin.
南北两极, literally south and north two poles. In the history of Zen Buddhism and later the early stages of the Great Tao, I-Kuan Tao, there was often a split between the northern school of the gradual enlightenment and the southern school of the sudden enlightenment. A global context, it signifies the entire world from one end to the other. Healing the split, it suggests that all the different branches and denominations of spiritual practice and all the divided school of thought, north versus south, are now being pulled back into center. Universal salvation, it implies that the mission of Maitreya is not just for one region, but spans the entire globe from pole to pole.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So this line, 南北两极连宗绪, there's so many ways to look at it. The most easy, simple way to look at it is that all the denomination should be united, because even in Christianity, there's different denomination, and I believe in Catholic, there's different denomination too. So in Buddhism, there's so many denominations, so many branch. So north and south is just an example. We can say east and west. Just Buddhism alone, it has so many branch. Luckily, we don't get into a fight. So just like what I stated here, in the global context, it means that we as a human, we shouldn't have any religious difference. We should not have any ethnicity difference. We should not have any, if we have any, of course, we will have different ethnicity origin. We have different geographic origin. But the bottom line is that our true nature is all connected. So there shouldn't be any difference. So we are all connected. And on the right, you can see this is the lotus seed. And so there's lotus seed, and inside it's all connected. It comes from the seed, and as the seed grow up, it create different holes, and each hole contains one seed. Another example that I can give is like a tree. A full-grown tree have many branches. So where does the branches come from? It all comes from the root, right? Come from the trunk, and the trunk it's supported by the root. So the root has different branches, have the east, the west. Some are deeper, some are less deep, and it's continued to expand. Just like even I-Kuan Tao has a different branch too. So it's very easy to understand this line here. But if we want to look at the historical context, here is what I want to share with you. Giacomo Tienshin, can you read the first part here?
In the historic split of Buddhism during the Tang Dynasty, the tradition fractured into two primary paths. The Northern School, led by Master Shen Xiu, which emphasized gradual enlightenment through continuous meditation and purifying the mind, the Southern School, led by Master Huineng, the sixth patriarch, which emphasized sudden enlightenment, realizing your inherent Buddha nature in a single direct breakthrough.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So guess what? Our I-Kuan Tao teaching, which school do we belong to? So in the original Buddhism school, it has, of course, it only had one, because when Buddha teach, there was only one teaching. But later on, it's got split into two. One is the northern, one is the southern. So the northern one is called the gradual enlightenment, or we call it the gradual cultivation. And when we cultivate for 20, 30, 40 years, and then we realize, wow, we realize that there's an enlightenment. So that's called gradual cultivation into enlightenment. But Southern School is led by Master Huineng. It's called a Southern Enlightenment. So we call it attainment before cultivation. We attain this enlightenment first. So what kind of enlightenment do we attain? We attain that, wow, we have this true nature. And this true nature, it's same as Buddha. And if Buddha can do it, I can also do it too. This is sudden enlightenment that we receive during the Tao ceremony. And we know that everybody have it. So this inherited Buddha nature, it's a breakthrough. And maybe the day that you receive the Tao, maybe we receive the heavenly Tao, you don't feel it. But this is called a sudden enlightenment. Because if you were born like 2,000 years ago, your teacher will not tell you this. They will tell you to go to the kitchen to work, to go sweep the floor for so many years. And then once they see your cultivation level, and then later on they will say, hey, here is your heavenly portal. And when you cultivate internally, eventually you will be same like Buddha. So this is like 2,000 years ago. If you want to practice under the northern school, but luckily we are in the southern school led by Master Huineng. In the previous session, Hoshi also mentioned about Master Huineng's story. Giacomo Tienshin, can you continue to read the bottom part? Thank you.
I-Kuan Tao's official lineage, known as the lineage of Tao or the Golden Thread, traces its direct spiritual heritage through Huineng and the Southern School. When a master transmits the Tao, it is a moment of sudden direct awakening, pointing directly to the human mind. In I-Kuan Tao, you unlock your true nature first, and then you spend the rest of your life gradually cultivating and polishing that realization. This enlightenment first, cultivation later framework echoes with the Southern Zen thought, heavily leaning on texts like Huineng Platform Sutra.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So in this bottom, third line from the bottom, the enlightenment first and cultivation later. This is called attainment before cultivation. We already attain this enlightenment. And after we attain the enlightenment, what do we do with it? We need to cultivate. If we receive this sudden enlightenment, but we don't cultivate, it's not going to work. So we all have received this enlightenment. Now our work is to cultivate from now to the rest of our lifetime. So this is the period that we call attainment before cultivation. And this lineage is called the lineage of Tao or the golden thread. Yeah. Okay. And Giacomo Tienshin, can you read this part, the bottom part?
Lien, to connect, link, or unite. Zhongshu, ancestral lineage, or the thread of the source. It refers to the golden thread, the unbroken succession of enlightened teachers, patriarchs, that carries the heavenly decree. Returning to the One, just as the previous line taught you to find the center within yourself, this line explains that the center is now manifesting in the world to bring all lineages back to the one true source.
Yeah, thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So this word, Lian, it's the same concept: to connect, to link, to unite, to connect to who? To the supreme heaven, to Lao-Mu, to God, to Jehovah, to Yahweh, to the source, to unite to the source. When we go beyond our difference, then we will be able to unite with everyone here, and of course, we can connect to our supreme heaven, to our Lao-Mu. Just keep in mind that when Jesus he was spreading the gospel, he there was not so many branches, so much denomination. There's no division. Yet right now, 2,000 years later, we are so divided. Nowadays, when we see a friend, when we talk to a friend, and then sometimes when the conversation got dry, and then they will say, "What are you, Buddhist or Christian?" And then so it gets down to here. And then I say I'm the Tao. I go to the temple, and that person say I go to the church, and it kind of have a moment of silence because we have a different religious belief. So it's very sad that we have come to this stage. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to talk about this one here: to connect, link, or unite. So if we can establish that lineage from ourselves to God, we can also see that our brother, sister, everybody, all a human, they also have that connection too. And that's where our compassion comes from. Because if I'm connected, Peter is also connected to heaven too. Somebody walking down the street, they are also connected too. The homeless guy is also connected too, but he just doesn't know he's connected. Yeah. So with that in mind, it will be easier when we talk to people. And I find that I'm very fortunate that I can establish my golden thread from me. I can visualize that. I'm sure we can all visualize that thread, right? Mm-hmm. So once we can visualize that, we can also not only we can visualize that vertically, we can also visualize that horizontally to the brother, sister, to the stranger that we have not met, to the worker, the co-worker, the neighbors. So we are all connected. Yeah. And since we are all connected, we understand the concept of returning to one. Isn't that beautiful? And this is center. Of course, this center is where? Center is, of course, it's in our heavenly portal. It's where the Tao Te Ching also talk about center too a lot. So ultimately, one day when we pass, our center will be the supreme heaven, where the heavenly mother resides. So that's why in our Tao sermon, in our practice, we focus very much on balancing our mind, body, and soul. If our mind is deviated, we want to pull our monkey mind, our horse mind into the center. Yeah, this is important.
Calm down the mind.
Yeah, calm down the mind. Yeah. Okay, now we go to the next two lines. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the next slide. Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read the first part?
Hunyuan, literally primordial unity. In the scriptures, it refers to the Tao or the source from which all life in the universe originated. Gu-Tze, ancient plan or primordial decree. It refers to the heavenly decree, Tianming, or the secret path of salvation that has existed since the beginning of time. Cai, Chun Yan, in the center. Spiritually, this refers to the heavenly portal, Shuangguan, the third eye. Philosophically, it represents the middle way, remaining centered and unbiased in one's heart and mind.
Thank you, Giacomo. So the first one, 混元. So now we have to talk about the Taiji. We know the Taiji. Taiji has the four forms, the black and the white, and then in the white there's a black dot, and the black part is the white dot. So the stage before that is the black part and the white part, but without a dot. Before that part, before just the black and white, was that chaos. So this is the chaos here is talking about. And before the chaos was the little dot. So the universe comes in different stage. First stage was Wuji, which is ultimate silence, stillness, silence. There's nothing. There's emptiness. But then from that emptiness, something starts to move. Something doesn't move much, but it starts to move. So there's activity going on. So when when the activity going on, it starts to expand. Expand into the yin and the yang. This is the chaos that I'm talking about. The primordial chaos. And you can see from this word here, Chinese. In Chinese, 混 means mix things together. If you are making some bakery, you have to mix the sugar, flour, yeast, and then you mix it together. So in the original time, it refers to the source. When it first come out from Wuji, there was some kind of mixed thing together, and that was, we call it the Taiji. From Wuji comes the Taiji. Okay, so during that time, there is the primordial decree, and we refer it as the heavenly decree in the beginning time. So in the ancient time, in the primordial time, there is already this heavenly decree. And in the center, of course, it has two meanings. We all understand what the center means. It has the spiritual meaning and the philosophical meaning. Physical meaning is our third eye. In terms of our mental status, there's also we want to stay neutral. We want to stay unbiased. We want to stay in the center. Tao Te Ching talks a lot about staying in the center. Do not be swing like a pendulum. Swing to the left, swing to the right, swing to the left, to the right. This is not good for our mental cultivation. So this is what it means by 混元古册在中央. Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read the bottom one?
The truth is internal. The ancient decree, the power to be saved or enlightened, is not found in external rituals, but within the center of one's own being. Focus on the portal. It points toward the heavenly portal, which is one of the three treasures, Sambao, taught to initiates to help them return to the primordial source, heaven.
Yeah, thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So this the truth is internal. Isn't this attainment before cultivation? We can see there are so many people. They go to worship Buddha. They go to pray to God. I've been to India several times. I see so many people. They want to pray to Buddha. They wish Buddha can give them blessing. But I see that the ultimate blessing, it comes from within. you should give yourself that blessing. And that blessing comes from our internal nature. And through cultivation, that blessing is, we can generate that blessing from us. So it has to come from the center. It does not come from external ritual. It doesn't.
Lao-Mu descends the divine key, the heavenly portal. Heaven is our true primordial home. Once the celestial gateway is unlocked, our sacred duty is to maintain a continuous and uninterrupted flow of spiritual energy. Lao-Mu, the eternal mother or the great mother of void. She represents the supreme creative origin of all souls. Gensia, to descend, to bestow, or to grant. It implies a grace coming down from a higher dimension to the human world, Tienshin, connecting to heaven or leading to the sky. It signifies a direct, unobstructed path back to the spiritual source. Xiao, an opening, a portal, or a keyhole. This refers specifically to the mysterious gate, Xuanguan, the first of the three treasures.
Thank you, Giacomo. So once our heavenly portal is open, we need to maintain that continuous flow. So how do we maintain that continuous flow of energy? It's through our mind, through our mind, body, and soul. By coming to the temple, continuous remind us that we are connected to heaven. We are connected to Lao-Mu. And sometimes just having the mind thing, we get distracted. That's why having this physical body is important. I am coming to the temple. I pray. So when we come to the temple, it becomes so easy to having that energy flow. Our mind is thinking about it. Our body is here. Our spirit is here, and yeah, our mind, body, and soul. It's all immersed in this spiritual gateway, and that's just so wonderful. Sometimes just having that mind, it's very difficult because we cannot control our mind many times. So sometimes we just have to put our mind and body together to align with our soul. You know, our soul, we have three components in our human body: the mind, body, and soul, right?
Yeah.
So who is the master? That is our soul. Our soul is the master. The mind is the bridge. Mind, I put it in this finger here. And then the body is the last one. So the mind is the bridge between the soul and the body. So our mind say, hey, today let's go to the temple. So the body listen to the mind. So two of them serve the soul. So that's how we go together. But if today your mind say, oh, I'm so lazy, I don't want to go to the temple. So what happened? Your body will not come and your mind don't want to come. Then your soul say, oh, I cannot help it. We are split. So our mind play a very important role. Yeah. So yeah, 老母降下通天竅. Now we understand that we have this gateway. It's already open. So make sure that there's a continuous form of energy going and coming. It's just very important. It is through years of cultivation. Now I understand why we are born on earth, why we are born in this body. There is a purpose. I want you to imagine that we are in heaven. We are in Tushita heaven because after we pass, we will go to Tushita heaven to continue to practice. So in Tushita heaven, we will continue our cultivation. So how do we cultivate? We are going to cultivate in our mind. So imagine Buddha Maitreya is in the front, and then Buddha tell us that focus, focus. And then my mind is like, cannot focus. And then Buddha said, you need to focus. And then I cannot focus. So imagine when we go to, I want you to imagine we are in Tushita heaven. So there are times that we will need to focus for our cultivation, but our mind cannot focus. And why we cannot focus? Because our body, we don't have body to help us to focus. So, so that's having a body will help us to focus on our mind. Do you know that? Even for now on earth, if you tell your mind, don't worry, but we still worry. If we say, I don't like that person, but I need to change, but we still don't like that person. I still hate that person. Why that person owe me $300? I still hold this grudge. So we do need this, our physical body, to help us to get into that, to train us. Our body will help the mind. It's like the mind and the body complement each other, and they both of this element work together to serve the soul. So that's how important it is to have this physical body. Yeah, because our physical body will help us to reinforce what the mind wants. But again, our mind have to be in the center. Yeah, so that's what I want to share with you. And I did not understand this until recently. So I just want to remind you that don't think about, okay, I'm going to do the cultivation just like this, and I will continue my cultivation into Shida heaven. No, I want you to focus your cultivation here as much as you can, and then pick it up whatever left is there. Because when we go to Tushita heaven, just having our soul and the mind will be 100 times more difficult than having the practice here. That's why a lot of spirit, once they go up there, they say, no, I cannot do it. The cultivation there is like 500 years compared to 100 years here. And a lot of them, they just say, this is just too difficult, because without a body to help them to cultivate, they literally want to give up. Can you understand the concept? So that's why there are so many humans on earth. A few years ago, Mark from Massachusetts, Boston, he said, "Why? I don't know why so many humans are here. Just so much overpopulation. Because all these humans, they cannot cultivate in heaven." And they were given a choice. If you want to continue to cultivate in heaven, you can, of course, but they will take 1,000 years.
Longer.
Takes longer. But if you say you want to cultivate as a human, it will be much faster. However, if you come back on earth, keep in mind you don't want to get lost. Like earlier you say that in Mexico, a lot of people, they get lost. They pray to Buddha, they pray to saint for their help. That's considered lost. So that's why we have this Tao environment here. We have a close relation. We have close Tao fellowship with our Tao brother, sister. We have this affinity. So next time, if we do decide to come again, we have this affinity, and we have this environment. We will create this environment again, or jump into the environment again, and we will just continue to work together, same as our previous life. And the reason we are here, all together here today, and in our previous session, it's because we were together in the previous life. Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read the bottom part?
How it connects to the previous line. These two lines work together as a map and a key. The map tells you where the truth is. It is the primordial plane located in the center, your spiritual center. The key tells you how to access it. The Eternal Mother has sent down the grace to unlock or open that center, allowing your soul a path back to heaven.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So 混元古册在中央, it tell you it's in the center. But then having the center is not enough. You need a key to go in. So we receive the heavenly Tao. Now our Tao Master open our heavenly portal. Now we can go in. And once we go in, we just need to keep the door always open so that the energy can flow continuously. And we will go to the next one, 无影山前对合同. Confirm the covenant in front of the shadowless mountain. Giacomo Tienshin, please.
Wu Yin Shan, literally shadowless mountain. This is not a physical mountain on a map. It represents the self-nature or the spiritual center, the Shuang Wan mentioned in the previous line. Wu Yi, why shadowless? Because the true self is pure light. Where there is absolute light from all directions, the divine source, no shadow can be cast. It is the place of absolute truth. The heavenly portal or gate is where our souls dwell.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So on the first one, this is not a physical mountain. Of course, it's not a physical mountain, but we do have a small mountain right here, right? Everybody have a small mountain. But this mountain have no shadow. It's shadowless because our true self cannot be seen. So that's how we look at this line here. And let's continue on the next one.
Tien, in front of or facing. It implies being in the presence of the divine or returning to one's original face. Wei, to match, to verify, or to confirm. Hutong, literally a contract or covenant. Spiritually, this refers to the hand seal. It symbolizes the child, the soul, returning to the mother, the divine. By verifying this seal before the shadowless mountain, you are identifying yourself as a child of the eternal mother. It is Alpha and Omega. Hand seal brings alignment to your essence, to Heavenly Mother, higher self, source, Lao-Mu.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So this He reminds us that we are a child for our physical mother because our biological mother give birth to us. But don't forget that we all have a spiritual mother. Our biological mother will one day pass, and our biological mother also have an eternal mother too. We all have the eternal mother, and we share the same eternal mother because we come from the same place, right? We come from the source. So we do have. I look at it as we have two mother. One is the biological mother. The other one is the spiritual mother. And of course, right here it says the alpha and the omega. It also means the alpha and the omega too. It's the first and the last. And so when we look at today, we look at this four line here. 混元古册在中央 to 无影山前对合同. It basically talks about the three treasure. Okay, this three talk about the heavenly portal, and then this one talks about the hand seal. Because when we go to the Tushita heaven, we need password to go to Tushita heaven, right? So that's the covenant, and that's the 合同. Now I have concluded the four lines on the scripture. I thank your attendance here. If mistakes were made or said during today's sharing, I ask the forgiveness from the Heavenly Mother, Buddha Maitreya, Jigong Buddha, Patriarch, Sitrun Simu, Grand Master, and Senior Mastery and Junior Mastery. And I thank you for your participation and your presence.